Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. here. A while back, I had a few questions about these screens and people saying, well, can these things, they're so big and so pretty, can they be scratched? Well, I would tell you this, that if you have one of the smaller screens, the 8.5 or lower, in just about any of the trucks, the material of the screen is actually not very scratchable. It's a lot more resistant to scratches at all, if any, will ever get on there. Now, that's not saying that if you try and use your key, just imagine the worst possible thing, but to poke at the screen, yeah, I suppose you could scratch it, but just your fingernail and stuff like that, it's not really anything you have to worry about. However, the Ford 12-inch screen, the 12-inch Ram screen, and the new 13.5-inch Chevy screen, those screens can get scratched. Now, again, they're allegedly scratch resistant. Resistant does not mean scratch proof. Just like stainless does not mean it won't rust eventually. It just means it will stain less. So at the end of the day, I always recommend that if you're going to get one of these big glossy screens, is to protect it. So when I had my Seltos, my Stinger, we had our Telluride and everything like that, I always recommend getting one. Now, these are very inexpensive. I've used this brand a ton of times. They make them for almost every newer vehicle out there. Probably, by newer I mean probably in the last 10 years they have this. So it's usually less than $30, and what this does is it's scratch proof, break proof, and stuff like that, because this is actually like a tempered glass. It should not affect anything on the screen, your ability to use the screen at all. I've done it many times before, but what this helps do is prevent it, because once you get a scratch in that glass, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. It's not covered under warranty. That is going to be under normal wear and tear. So just like you would protect your phone screen from those scratches, then you'd probably want to do that with your truck screen. So let's get in here and take a look at this. All right, so huge and beautiful, right? We have this big screen, so they're going to get fingerprinted, period. There's no way to prevent that. So I've already taken just a standard non-ammonia based glass cleaner like Invisible Glass. I'll put a link in the description. I use that on a ton of my vehicles. I wouldn't use alcohol necessarily on here, but if this kit does come with alcohol prep, then that means I will probably use it to just take off any remaining stuff. But as long as you dilute the isopropyl alcohol, you technically could use that to clean that. But I will also put a link in the description. All right, guys, so sorry about that. This morning I posted this video on how to do that screen protector. Found out that it had the pieces in the wrong. It was crap. It was complete crap. I appreciate the watcher that said this is the best how-to video, laughing my ass off, because it did. It didn't pause where I had it paused, so I could do this. Again, I'm a one-man show, so I shoot this on the fly usually, and it's usually one take. But so it cut off basically everything after we got in the truck. Let's take a look at the kit. So the system is actually done now. The plate's on there so you can see how nice it looks. Inside the kit, you're going to have your screen protector in here, an alcohol prep wipe. So again, don't put straight alcohol on the screen. I would be worried about that. You can use an isopropyl 50-50 mix, water and alcohol. This was a wet wipe. You'll have your lint-free cloth. You'll have your instructions here, and then you will have your little lint sticker picker uppers, if you will. After you clean this with your microfiber, get all the prints off, then take your alcohol prep. You're going to wipe this screen down. From there, you'll use this screen. It feels kind of like a silky material. You're going to polish that off and make sure there's nothing on there. Now, I will warn you guys, these screen protectors seem to attract with the static electricity on the back side, because that's how they use themselves to cling on there. It's not glue or anything. And what will happen is if you peel the sticker off and move it and take it off and take it off, it'll start drawing in the dust and everything from around here. So it's best just to make sure that you nail it down and get it right the first time. Now, if your screen is not inset like the Rams, it kind of makes like a little jig where you can put the screen protector in. Then be very carefully to only grab it from the sides. But I would try and at least line up right here. There's really just, it's going to be by feel. I've done enough of these that, again, if you kind of misalign it, you can lift it up a few times, but don't let your fingers reach around the back and get your fingerprint on the inside of that screen protector. So once you get the screen protector, everything ready to go, you can pull it out of here. It's going to have a little tab that says back on it. When you pull it away, that means that's the part that goes onto the screen itself. And then what will happen is, as soon as you set it on there, you're going to see it just kind of start turning darker black. And it's pushing the air bubbles out themselves. You're not going to need a squeegee or anything really like that. If you have to pick it up one time to do it, you may end up with air pockets in there. And what you can do is you can just push them out with your finger. The benefit to this, again, guys, it protects the screen. So after a couple years, if this starts looking kind of shabby, peel it off. Your screen's like brand new. But it also just prevents the event that you're driving down a dirt road and you get dirt in here and somebody swipes in here and gets something on here. And it may scratch it, may not, but this will prevent your screen from getting any damage. And in theory, you can't tell any difference. Again, as long as you line it up perfectly, the first time you can kind of just drop it against the actual screen itself and it'll push it out. If you end up with air bubbles, just push them out over the long run. And again, as of touch screens, if I was normally touching the normal screen just with this, you can probably see just a couple fingerprints here. It was even like more exaggerated on the regular screen. But one thing's for sure is with this, you don't have to care as much about what's really on it to wipe it off because it is a 9H hardness screen protector. So, you don't have to be like worried that you got some scratch. This should be protected for the most part from just about anything. And again, when it comes to overall functionality of everything, it does not affect how the screen itself functions here. There's no lag. There's no nothing when it comes to that. Everything is completely functional from top to bottom. They do make a matte version for some models, so just keep that in mind. But again, it is great. Less than 20 bucks to knock that screen protector on there and never have to really sweat that again. Leave it off there and you may find that you have scratches. Once you scratch that again, guys, it is done. So the person that saw that this morning and corrected that, thank you. I apologize for you guys having to watch that crap. I try not to put anything out there that is junk like that. I was trying to actually make it really well. But in the description below will be the link to this specific screensaver. And yeah, guys, please feel free to comment, and I will make sure this video looks good before it goes up. See you on the next one.